Hey guys, Dan here from Trading with Dan. How you guys? How you all doing? Hope you're all well. Yeah, good evening from over here in England in the UK. It's Friday evening here. Hope we all had a good week trading. We had some good volatility in Bitcoin this week, didn't we? So that's good to see. It's good to see for our bots firing off their trades. So today in today's video, what I want to do is talk about some other functions on 3Commas that you can use to really get a lot better trading returns from your trades, basically your automated trades. So so quickly we'll have a look. Since we last spoke, we had two trades fire off. We had a sell here, profit, and a buy here and a profit. So that's great. Two successful trades for the system. I did stick on the 10-minute for the time being. So what I want to do is show you how we can literally 3x our returns, and really turn that sort of topsy-turvy risk reward of 2% stop to 1% profit, turn it on its head back into our favor, obviously without reducing the success rate of the signals. So let's get into it. Let's get into how we do this. So as you can see, these two trades, this sell and this buy, you look at them and you think, well, did we maximize the return? Did we maximize what we could have got out of that trade? And I think you can clearly see the answer is no. This one went up 3.76%, and this one over here from the sell level went down to just under 3%, 2.88%. If we look at some of our other trades that we had this one here that actually pretty much went up in a straight line, 6.7%. That one was obviously a losing trade. This one here, right, obviously you can see profit bar on that bar, but it didn't take profit at the top. It took profit 1% up from its buy. And then also, as we know, my indicator will fire off a buy signal to my bot as soon as we cross this red buy line. So whilst this white line is the line that TradingView will draw is for the purposes of what you can see on this chart, it puts the line where it says it's the buy at the closing of the candle, which is there. But we obviously buy here because that's when the bot fires off. So we're going to get the ruler from there, and we total there is 4.54%. So again, a sell here, which actually goes down. It's a sell there, isn't it? Goes down 3.3%. Having a look, that was where we had our little chop zone, the sell profit. There's not much really profit wise in there. But so a lot of these profits, they don't necessarily go other ones, but as the market conditions change, we can look to be, as the volatility increases, which obviously there are indicators that will tell you what volatility levels are going to. They've got 3.24% there. So you get my point. We're fully not maximizing the profits we could potentially get from these entries that we get signaled to us. So what can we do about that? How can we look to grab some more of that profit, grab some more of those percents? And then, so if you go to 3Commas, whereas before I had, this is the settings for the long bot, the bot that goes long, is a long strategy, the base order size, the leverage, and the TradingView custom signal, which is those sells and buys. So when they fire off, that's what starts my bot. That's the deal start condition. So that signal shooting over to my from my TradingView to 3Commas, then 3Commas, and shoots over to Bitmex, and then gets the buys the contracts for me. So what we have we have the target profit I've increased. Instead of from 1%, we now have 3%. And then the stop loss we now have, instead of it's not changed, it's still 2%. So instead of 1 and 2, we've got 3 and 2. And then so here we have the trailing. So this was off before, so this is the trailing take profit, which we're now clicking to on. So the trailing deviation is 1%. So what that means is, obviously, as the price goes off, we've got our target profit of 3% where it will take profit. Or if we go up to say 2.99% and then retrace to 1.99%, which will be a 1% deviation, the bot will then take the profit at that point at basically a 2% profit. So yeah, so that's how that works. And the trailing stop loss, we have the trailing stop loss on, so that will be going up. But obviously you can see we're gonna hit the take profit on a retrace if we've gone on side quicker than we're gonna hit the stop loss. That's only if we basically go straight offside on up, say a little bit, say 0.5%, and then down basically 2%, it will take us off at 1.5% loss because it's trailed up that 0.5% up. So yeah, so a trade that goes doesn't really go your way, as long as it goes away your way a little bit first, you're not going to be taking a full stop loss. And then also, as I've showed you on the strategy, on the indicator that I use, you don't always take the full stop loss anyway. If we flip to a buy, we cancel, we basically close the short trade even before it gets to the 2%. So so there we go. So we've got those settings. So then let me show you what that would then means. Obviously, I'm sure some of you guys can guess, is that we get to capture a lot more gains. A lot of these, I mean, 3% was because I back tested it, looked back through, and a lot of the moves do go to 3%. So it sort of was the optimal of basically locking the profit in at 3% or letting it run even longer, but then obviously the ones that go to 3%, you're then only going to take 2% as the trailing stop loss then comes back and gets hit. So 3% did look like an optimal number, although there were actually some moves. I mean, let me just double check this one again. This buy level from here to here. Yeah, this was a 7% move. So you do obviously have the option. I mean, this is what happened in this market at this time. Market and conditions always change. You could potentially have, say, a 10% profit target with the 1% trailing stop, and on this one, as you can see, you quite likely would have got around 6%. Obviously, on that retrace, you'd have been stopped out about here. You would have been stopped out at 6.3, so a 6% profit when you're running a 2% stop, which isn't always getting hit at 2% anyway. With the high success rate of these entries, and then obviously you're probably going to sacrifice a few of the 3% trades, then going to become 2% trades. But yeah, you could have it set at that, and then you could potentially take some bigger profits from some of those other moves like that move we had there. But for the purpose of how I like to have the settings, I would rather be taking those, just booking those 3% gains more often than booking 2% gains, and then like a 6%, a 6-bag 6%. So yeah, that's what I did want to show you guys. A way of adjusting your bot. So I mean, I know I say this, a few people have asked me about this indicator. This indicator is a proprietary indicator that I use, that isn't available on the free selection on TradingView. But it doesn't operate too dissimilar to how a parabolic SAR would work. So you could set up a similar strategy, but I mean, all trading strategies are pretty much as good as the indicators and the back testing that you use, and then obviously your discipline, your risk reward, which is what I do find 3Commas is great for, because your risk and reward is, your parameters are just sat there, and then whilst they do have what is known, what I think is quite funnily known as a safety order. So I'm sure you guys, anyone that's used 3Commas will know what a safety order is. A safety order is, and the safety order size that you can have, I mean, I can have it at that because I don't have the safety order on, so it doesn't matter what it is. The safety order is, say I bought my entry was at $8,000 Bitcoin, and I'm buying at 8,000. We had a little pump. I got long at 8,000. And then we go down to 7,900. I could set orders to buy at 7,900. 7,900 to buy some more. And then yeah, I mean, you can set any number of safety orders, which I find a bit yeah, so you can set like 100 safety orders. So what you're in effect doing is averaging offside 100 times in that circumstance. I mean, and even just averaging offside once or twice, I mean, anybody with any trading experience kind of knows that it doesn't make your trade more safe, increasing the size. I mean, you don't necessarily have to double the size of the trade. You could be adding little bits to it, but you are still adding little bits to your risk because you're increasing the size of a trade that is potentially got momentum against you. So yeah, so that's what a safety order is, safety in inverted commas. But I guess they're not going to want to call it anything else because it just wouldn't sound. It's just not good marketing, is it? It's not good marketing. Whilst you guys are watching, I just want to quickly show you. This is my Toro account, Trading with Dan, where I don't actually trade crypto on here. This is where I trade normal markets. So yeah, you can see these are my returns so far. Some people have asked for some help with e-commerce. You feel free to ask questions in my Telegram group that I've set up. The link for the Telegram group is below in the description. Yeah, finally, everything I say here is not a financial advice. This is just trading. This is just a game. This is just gaming advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't risk money that you don't want to lose, that you don't want to lose sleep over, that you can't afford to lose. Don't risk your rent money. Don't risk your lunch money. Don't risk your CSA money or your alimony in America. Don't risk all those sorts of things. Trading is basically gambling. I mean, you can get an edge, but it is very risky. So yeah, I am actually thinking of contacting 3Commas because you can actually, my trading bot that I will use with my TradingView custom signal is something that people could potentially subscribe to. So you could have my bot. So what you would get the TradingView custom signals. So these would come through the sells and the buys, the profits. Literally all that would come through from the indicator is the sells and the buys, and then you would be able to put these settings to what you want them to be. I mean, I will suggest what I use as maybe the ideal settings, but you guys are welcome to backtest, look and decide what you'd like to do, how you'd like to set those parameters yourself, because like I said, I do adjust them to different trading conditions. But yeah, so you can see how these two trades we pretty much bagged ourselves 3 or 2% rather than the 1% profit. So we're looking at a good profit there from the 2% each one that we risked. Then, as we know from the previous video and looking back, we don't always risk the 2%. We can get stopped out before we hit that 2% if market conditions change and we get the signal to do that. So yeah, thanks for listening to that video, guys. I hope that was informative. Anything else, any other questions you have, I mean, feel free to leave comments, ask me in the Telegram group, and yeah, let me know if any of you guys are interested in my bot in the buy and sell signals, and then we can talk about that. But yeah, so I hope you guys have a great weekend. Yeah, I mean, my background is in normal financial trading, normal financial markets. So when I say yeah, we'll be back in the office on Monday and we'll see what the market's doing then, that just simply isn't the case with Bitcoin, is it? We get it's a 24 hour 7-day-a-week market, so we trade the weekends, don't we? So our bot trade, that's why we need the bots. The bots trade the weekends for us, they trade the nighttime for us, they trade when we go to the gym, they trade when we go to the shop, they trade when we pick our kids up from schools. Well, by they trade, I mean they are watching the market for the opportunities to trade. They're not literally trading the whole time that we're not there. They're watching, but obviously that is trading. That is what trading is. It's waiting for the opportunities. It's like Warren Buffett says, markets are a mechanism for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. So trading, investing is about waiting for the right opportunities, and yeah, and obviously the bots are very patient, very very patient. So I feel they're good guys to have behind you as long as you program them right. But yeah, thanks again for listening, guys. Yeah, so like I said, Telegram channel. Let me know any questions, anything else, and then yeah, and I'll do another video soon. See you guys.